In this video, we're going to study the Crusades. And in order to study the Crusades, you've got to know about the Byzantine Empire. So, first things first, let's tell you what the Byzantine Empire is. If you recall, before its disintegration, the Roman Empire split into two parts, so that when we talk about the fall of Rome, we're more accurately talking about the fall and the disintegration of the Western Roman Empire. This Eastern Roman Empire survives for a while. It survives for a long time. It has its highs and its lows, but by around 700, it's fair to start calling it a separate thing, to start calling it the Byzantine Empire. First off, they lose a lot of land. That's why I switched to this map here to show you that they actually lose a fair portion of their holdings in, in Asia, down here in, Jerusalem, in modern-day Turkey. They change their official language from Latin, the old Roman language, to Greek, and they just take on much more of a sort of a Greek flavor. You can see the lands they own here now correspond a lot to sort of modern-day Greece. Their capital's here in Constantinople, right there. And there is, at the very least, a shift in their religion as well. Now Christianity has been the major religion in Europe for some time now, but what happens around this time is a little bit interesting, and it's displayed on this map here with the yellow color, this, whatever this is, cream color, and this green color, which I'll explain to you right now. Christianity in Europe had long been organized around bishops. So you'd have a bishop in a certain area, like Paris, and then that bishop was sort of in control of the church in that sort of region. And for a while, since at least the 400s, 500s, the bishop of Rome, right, the old capital of the Roman Empire, the Bishop of Rome had claimed sort of special status as being the head bishop, the person that was in charge of all the other bishops, and that's the person that today is called, the Pope. Well, the patriarch, who's over here in Constantinople, who's the, essentially the sort of the head of the church over here, doesn't accept that, right? So the Bishop of Rome starts to say, as early as, the 400s, earlier, starts to say, okay, I'm the bishop that's in charge of all the other bishops. And the patriarch, who's over here, says, no, you're not in charge of me. I should be in charge of you. No, I should be in charge of you. So, argue, and what we get is a schism or split. Okay, that's a vocabulary word I want you to know. There's a schism or a separation in the church with all of the, sort of cream color, whatever color you want to call it, areas sort of following the Pope over here in Rome, and these green areas staying more loyal to the Patriarch. Both groups would be sort of considered Christian, but they go in separate paths, and these separate paths still exist today. So Christianity undergoes a schism. It's not the last one. There's going to be the Reformation, that you'll learn about in 9th grade. That's going to take it even further. But you've got on the one side the Catholic Church. They're the ones that follow the Pope. They're more centered in the West. And then the Eastern Orthodox Church that are more focused in the East and follow the Patriarch. So I bring all this up just to let you know that the people in the Byzantine Empire, you'd still, call them Christians, but they're the Eastern Orthodox. That again is still a sort of a branch of Christianity that exists today. Well, I also said that they lost a lot of land, right? They lost a lot of land here to these up-and-coming empires in this area. So they lose a lot of their territory, and the Byzantine Empire finds itself sort of constantly under siege. These empires here, the Ottomans and all these guys are looking to expand. They're looking to conquer. These guys lose some battles. Constantinople is sort of under siege for a while. And so what do? They ask for help. The Byzantine emperor over here specifically asks Europe. He says, hey, Europe, come help me. These guys here are coming up. They're invading. We don't like this. Constantinople is going to fall. Please come help us. And he makes an explicitly religious appeal to these other nations in Europe. Hey, guys, come help me. I'm under attack. Come help me. We're all, Christians together. Come help me from these guys. And again, makes the appeal in sort of specifically religious terms. These empires down here are mostly Muslim. These countries over here are Christian. And he says, hey, help me out. They're gonna defeat me, and shouldn't we all stick together? And some in Europe agree. And this is what gives us the Crusades. The Pope at the time makes an appeal to a lot of knights and people in Europe and France and and a bunch of other countries, saying hey guys, listen, we've got to go down there. We've got to help out Constantinople. And he even goes further than that, saying that the crusading army should go all the way to the Holy Lands, all the way to Jerusalem, and take back Jerusalem from the empires that currently hold it. He goes even further. Pope Urban II tells the people that anyone who goes on this crusade and dies will get a ticket straight to heaven. So many people join this fight. You see here crusading knights. They would wear these big, red crosses on their uniforms. And a lot of them go down. Here's a map of the First Crusade. A lot of them go down from France, where he makes this appeal, where this all starts. They go down from France, go all the way down here to the Holy Lands, conquer, and conquer several of these cities and set up these little, crusader states. The First Crusade is successful. They go down there, they conquer some cities, and they set up these little crusader city-states and say, all right, here we are, we've retaken the Holy Land. Many are motivated by religion and by the fact that the Pope's telling them to do it. Some are motivated because, they want to go to war and, they like to fight. Some are motivated because they think that they can get some riches when they're down there. The point is that it happens. Here's a painting depicting the Crusaders there going down and taking over the cities. A lot of people died while they were doing this. This is the modern ruins of one of the crusading forts that they set up during this time. And here's a depiction, possibly a little bit glorified, of Jerusalem, after they took it. However, these crusading states don't find it very easy to stand up under the sort of the constant, assault of the armies that are mostly Muslim armies that are sort of still in the area. So these crusading states, they're like little city-states, and they're under constant attack. They don't last 100 years. They last a while, but not that long. One of them falls, and that prompts the Second Crusade, which you see here. Again, hey guys, rally, let's go fight. So they all go down, they fight, but this crusade does not work. You can see here, they go and they try. This is a picture of them, the Crusaders, trying to take the city back, and it fails. Then Jerusalem itself falls. The original Crusaders from the First Crusade had captured Jerusalem and ruled it for a while, but this gentleman right here, Saladin, comes in and he's able to take Jerusalem back for the Muslim empires that had been ruling it for a long time. The Europeans aren't going to be too happy about that, so they start the Third Crusade. And the Third Crusade is led by three important rulers. Number one, right here, King Richard the Lionheart of England. The ruler of France, King Philip II. And the Holy Roman Emperor Frederick Barbarossa. So the three rulers go to attack Saladin and take back Jerusalem. Barbarossa goes down, and King Philip sets sail, and off he goes. And Richard the Lionheart, now Barbarossa enters into a problem when he's taking a bath in a river. The emperor, while he's taking a bath in a river, drowns. He drowns not in battle, but just while he's in a river. So he dies, and then his army says, "Never mind, we're gonna leave." So back they go, and they're gone. Then King Philip is all set and ready to, to attack and to crusade, but then he gets a letter that there's some internal disruptions back in France, so he says, never mind, I got to go back to France, see you later. So off he is, and now these guys are gone. Now Richard is all by his lonesome. He still tries his best, he attacks, there's still more battles. Here's an old depiction of him and Saladin fighting it out, but in the end, he's not able to take back Jerusalem. He has to cut a deal with Saladin that he'll stop crusading. Saladin will let Christians visit Jerusalem if they've got religious business there, and they call it a day. There is a fourth crusade pictured here. They start off in Venice, and they're heading down, and they're all excited to go and crusade some more. But while they're headed down, they get a little distracted. They realize that Constantinople, you'll remember Constantinople sort of started the Crusades, right, by saying, hey guys, come help us. We're all Christians together. Come help us against these guys attacking us. Well, these Crusaders, while they're heading down to Jerusalem, realize that Constantinople at this time isn't that well defended, and they say, if we just, instead of going down and attacking, Jerusalem and being crusaders, if we just instead turned our ships and went to Constantinople, they'd never expect it, right, because we're the crusaders, and we could, sack the city and take all their stuff and get rich. Let's do that. So the Fourth Crusade gets diverted through, just sheer greed and ambition, and instead of going down and attacking the Holy Land, they just turn their ships, go to Constantinople. Constantinople's like, hey, Crusaders, buddies, what's up? We're happy to see you, but hey, what are you doing here? Hey, whoa! And they get attacked, and they sack the city, they take a bunch of stuff. Constantinople's never quite the same after that. They still go on for a while longer, but a lot of their wealth and power is shaken and taken out with this sneak attack. They're going to last for a while longer. We'll talk about them more when the Ottomans finish them off in a later chapter. But for now, that is the history of the Crusades.